of working with. And they're going to talk about some of their tips and tricks as far as managing a fit lifestyle and also taking on the role as a mom and just kind of what that's like for them, what has worked, what hasn't. I'm super excited to hear from all these lovely ladies. I want to say personally how impressed I think it is to be able to manage a household, kids, a profession, as well as the fit life, because it is not an easy task, even just doing the fit life on its own. So with that being said, I want to introduce my first guest tonight. Her name is Melissa. And she is a wonderful mother. She owns a business, and I've had the pleasure of working with her. She did her first show last year, and she plays top 5, and she's just an awesome person all the way around, a lot of compassion. And with that being said, I'll let you go, Melissa.
All right. So just a little bit about myself. You already said I'm a business owner. I'm a mom of 3 boys, ages 13, 11, and 5. My husband also owns a business, so we have opposite schedules. So that kind of threw a little bit more of a wrench in trying to make time for myself. Still taking kids to practice and sports. So I had to change a few things about my normal schedule to make all that happen. Let's see here. I would say probably the most important thing that I did for myself was I changed kind of my sleep routine. So I got up much earlier in the morning. I went to a class and did my cardio before anybody got up, was able to get home, still be part of getting everybody ready for school. So I think that was a huge thing. And there were days that I didn't want to do it and I was so tired, but I would say my kids were my number one motivation, which was great. They were the ones rooting me on and just saying, "You can do it, Mom." They were my number one supporters of the show. And it was so encouraging every time that I was tired and just didn't want to do it or didn't want to show up or just wanted to cancel. Just hearing them in the back of my head, just saying, you know, my 11-year-old would always tell me that I was strong and I look strong. And that was probably my number one motivator. So it's like getting me choked up a little bit talking about it. He's so sweet. But yeah, I would say just, you know, changing my husband was super supportive too, so I can't leave him out of the mix. I think that's super important to have a supportive partner, somebody who's encouraging you. And I also wanted to prove to my kids that I could start something and finish it. So that was really important too. I think that just them seeing me do it, you know, 7 days a week when it got close to actually doing my show was good for them to see, and that I wasn't going to give up. And when I wasn't able to get the kids to certain places, my husband stepped up and did all those things. So I think I just was really lucky, and I'm so glad I had that experience. And yeah, that's about it.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Melissa. I'm really proud of you and how far you've come. And I know you've kept it up, so that's huge.
Yeah.
It's definitely not.
Right. I can't hear anyone. Hold on here. I've lost the volume for everybody.
Is that better? Okay. Yeah, so Linda, she always goes above and beyond, making sure that she gives 110%. And with that being said, I'm going to introduce Linda Drum. You can follow her on Instagram, Evolution of Linda. And then if everyone else will go ahead and mute, we'll get Linda on. Let me pull you up, Linda. I'll pin you. There we go.
Hi, guys. I'm Linda Drum. So a little bit about me. I have 5 children, ages 2 to 18, but my oldest has moved out now, so I'm kind of conflicted. Do I say I have 4 kids at home, or is it 5 still? I don't know, but I still worry about her all the time, so I'd say 5. So some of my passions are, of course, working out. Fitness is huge for me. Hunting is another big thing for me. Travel. Doing things with my family is like what everything revolves around. Everywhere that we go, we take our children with us and stuff. So it's a big production. And that was one of the challenges that I've had recently is while I'm traveling and training to do a show in April and dieting and stuff like that, it's kind of a thing that I'm navigating right now. And so, yeah, I'm kind of working on that. I guess the best part about being a mom is when you see your kids succeed in things when they work really hard on something and you see them like achieve a goal of theirs. It's huge. When I look at my children and I see something about something that reminds me of qualities in my husband that I love, I think that's amazing. You know, since my oldest is 18 now, I'm so super proud. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you that. And see, now I'm all getting all choked up. What is this, people? What is this? But that's our goal as a mom, to like raise these, you know, little people into being productive adults. And I think that's like the pinnacle of adult, you know, being a good parent, you know, seeing them do well. So my fitness journey has changed a lot. It came from my career in the Army to MMA fighter to now doing bikini competitions. So it's changed a lot, but what I really like to do is try to involve my kids. My kids do jujitsu. We're also doing this really cool mud run, and it's coming up in August, and it's called Mud Girl. And so it's all women. And so I think it's a good opportunity to have a lot of like women empowerment for our girls and let them get all dirty and stuff and see us being tough together and bonding and stuff like that. So I guess that's how I involve my kids in fitness. They don't want to wake up when I do. I wake up really early, so they don't they don't have no part of that part of it. But so I think that some tricks, and like Melissa was saying, like you got to wake up early or you're going to have to stay up late. It's one or the other. In the middle of the day, if you're a parent, it's like fitness is not going to happen for you unless you're during their nap time, maybe, or if they're directly involved in it. So I think preparation is huge, you know, just always trying to figure out what you're going to do the next day and have everything prepared ahead of time and have like childcare set up, or, you know, whenever this COVID situation chills out, then, you know, we can take our kids to the daycares at the gym and things like that. But so right now I'm doing, I have a YouTube channel that I just started, and I've just put up my very first video, and it's about waking up early in the morning and going through that process and what I do and the supplements I take and all that stuff. So but that's also called Evolution of Linda. That's my YouTube channel name. So, and that's about it.
Thank you so much, Linda. You're amazing. Okay. And next we have Sarah. Sarah actually just moved to Colorado just, I don't know, about 6 months ago. I don't know if I'm estimating that right. So we worked together, and she just had her first baby, and she's as cute as could be, bright blue eyes. And I was really impressed with even, you know, the times where she's had like hard time getting sleep. She's able to check in with herself and be like, you know what, I need some sleep. And that's actually a lot harder than I think people will say, because I think we're kind of taught to push. And so I'm really proud of you for that, Sarah. And with that being said, here is Sarah.
Wow, thank you, Lisa. I mean,
Absolutely.
this is probably the first time I've ever been around women in like moms, and I'm having this group. And first of all, I'm thankful for all of you being here today. I mean, and thank you, Lisa, for initiating this great platform for all of us to just talk and give each other tips. And I definitely heard great things from, you know, all of you, and we're still here. So just a little bit of background about me. This is not just that I'm new to Denver, Colorado. I'm new to the United States in general. So I've never lived in the US. I'm originally Armenian, born and raised in Lebanon. So I have never, ever lived in the US. So it was a bit of a cultural difference for me at the beginning, but I've always, you know, thought that it would be the best for me and my family to move here with everything that is going on in the Middle East right now. So when I first arrived to Denver, Colorado, I've always wanted to find a gym and see how can I, start again with my fitness journey. It's always been on and off for me. There were years that I've been always very fit. There were years where no, not so much. So it's always been an on and off. With Lisa, when I started with Lisa, I set everything on the side and I put my fitness as a priority. And with Lisa, I learned that fitness and health is not just like a temporary thing you do for something. Yes, there are some days where you have to travel and you have to look skinnier, fine. But it's more of a long-term commitment that you do with yourself. And that is something really new for me. I always thought that, if I want to lose a couple of pounds, let me go on a crash diet, a few exercises here, and that's about it. So that's why with Lisa, I'm always on my own pace. I'm not like on the go, or I don't feel like I have to exercise when I'm like really tired or I haven't had a lot of sleep. My daughter is 14 months old, turning 15 very soon. She wakes me up in the middle of the night. So sometimes I don't have much sleep. Even sometimes when she's sleeping, I don't sleep well like before, because every little, you know what I'm talking about. You've been there, done that. So I don't know what is happening since I became a mom. Every time my ear is like, even if it's not there, I can hear it inside. She's crying. Sometimes it's an illusion. It's not true. When I wake up, I check on her. She's not crying. She's sleeping, but I imagine her crying and asking for her mom. So it's just really been a big change for me, not only as from being being a mom, just that's a huge change. And then changing from one region to another region, different cultures. So fitness has been helping me with this transition with Lisa. And I feel like when you feel like you're healthy, you're doing the right thing, even though, like I said, slowly, I think that's one of my biggest tips and trick that I use is that every time I exercise, I feel good. I feel good about myself, and I look forward to the next. Doesn't have to be the next day. Doesn't have to be like, you have to look great instantly. No, I just look forward to the next, and I feel proud of myself. I never had that thing to feel proud of myself and tap on my own shoulder. And again, I'm learning this slowly and slowly. So that's one of my biggest tips is for whoever wants to start. I say start slow, stay slow, don't rush it, because if you rush and you reach a certain goal, you think that's it and you go back to the yo-yo. I've been there many times. So fitness just makes me focus. It makes me happy. Just simply makes me happy. I finish exercising, my day goes so much better. I don't know if it's something about those good hormones that you get and the good adrenaline that you get. And then when you're happy as a mom, I guess we all know that we make everybody around us happy. I think the main person in the household is the mom. No offense to the dads or the kids. I think the mom is the most important person in the house. And a happy mom is just, the house will be all happy. Everybody will be happy because the happy mom makes her husband happy, her kids happy. And nowadays, with everything going on with COVID, I think the only place that we can really take out everything is exercise. I think we can put everything out, because so many times I put it out on my husband and I just nick it in and we just pick up fights. Then I said, no, enough of this, because we're going to be in this house working from home all the time. So one of us has to do something separately. So my workouts are just like my getaways, and I come back refreshed, energized. So that's simply put why I'm doing this, and I'm going to keep on doing it, and I'm learning so much. This is the first time I actually do this type of training, weight training. I always thought cardio is the way to go, but no. Once you build those muscles and that you never knew you would, you feel so good, and you start seeing differences, even though you don't see it on the scale, but you see it in your clothes and you see it in the mirror. That's when we feel, wow, there's change. And again, small steps. That's I think, if there's one thing I have to say lastly, is small steps. Small progress is progress. It's not that it's not, it's a progress. So thank you again, Lisa. I mean, I really appreciate this opportunity for all of us to open up and just share our tips and tricks. It's definitely challenging, but look at us. All of us have found a certain way to succeed at it. And I think we can always find new ways and be happy and be healthy. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm so inspired by you, Sarah. That's so awesome. You're great. And also, just on a side note, Sarah will be doing competition makeup for photo shoots and show going forward. So if you need that, please reach out to her, because she is amazing. Look how beautiful she looks.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm so proud of you for coming here and being able to, I moved to Vegas when I was 25, and that was terrifying. So I can't even imagine going somewhere so far away from home. I only lasted 3 months, so that's why I'm back. All right. Last but not least, we're going to go with the lovely 𝗵𝗃. 𝗵𝗃 owns a business where she does outdoor activities. She'll explain that more. I'm definitely interested in doing the snowshoeing. I don't know about black diamonds yet. Maybe I'll work myself up to that, but we shall see. Further ado, 𝗵𝗃, we'll leave you to it.
Hi, so I'm 𝗵𝗃. I actually I have 2 jobs. I like to say I have a full-time job and a fun-time job, and I have 2 boys, 11 and 9. So I have a pretty high-profile real job. I'm a VP of IT for an energy company, which is allows me a lot of freedom, luckily, and a lot of flexibility. So I get to work from home, which means I get to work out whenever I want to, as long as I don't have meetings, which is most of my job. And then, yeah, like Lisa said, I own an outdoor adventure company for women. In the summertime, I teach beginner mountain biking. I lead mountain biking courses all over the US, or not all over the US, all over Colorado, some in Arizona. And then I teach paddleboarding, and then we do a lot of hikes. And in the wintertime, I lead snowshoe trips, and then I do hut trips as well, which is backcountry skiing and touring. So I'm busy. I actually don't know how to slow down. So when Linda kept showing all of her progress, I was like, okay, I'm getting older. I've lost a lot of muscle, which is just frustrating because I am always active and I'm always doing something, but I just kept feeling like I wasn't strong. So when I saw Linda's progress, I'm like, all right, I got to do this. It's time. It's COVID. I work from home. My kids are home. I might as well. So it's been amazing. My biggest thing is, honestly, my kids are awesome and they get involved with me. So right before this, we just did our ab workout and then a yoga class, and they did the whole thing with me. Now, granted, the yoga was not very relaxing with them falling all over me, but I got it done. So yeah, it's one of the questions at least asked that really intrigued me was, what's your definition of self-care? And at this point, as I've gotten older, it's not the bubble baths and wine and glass. It's how can I kick my own ass so that I keep myself accountable. So, and a lot of that is, just checking in. And I'd say the hardest part overall, 100%, is not necessarily the workouts or the timing. It's eating. I'm a stress non-eater. I'm very busy all the time and I don't eat. So that's probably part of it. So this keeping myself accountable, keeping myself healthy, and making sure that I can continue to climb mountains well into my 80s is my goal. So
that's freaking awesome, 𝗵𝗃. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you to everybody who joined in tonight. I think it's really inspiring, to meet women who are mothers, entrepreneurs, people who are passionate about their life. I mean, growing up, I was raised by a baby boomer, and I was not taught health and fitness. I never worked out with my mom. I always saw her being on a diet. And I think that can be very detrimental to your kids' development, because they're not really able to be modeled why fitness and health is important for us. So I just bravo to all of you for doing what you do, because I think that it's a really beautiful gift to give fitness to somebody. And you may not even know that you're doing it, but the fact 𝗵𝗃, that your kids just did the ab workout with you, I mean, that's amazing. And as they get older, they're going to remember yeah, self-care is important, being fit's important, eating. And I will say too, eating every few hours is a self-discipline, and it does not happen overnight. Especially, there are emotional eaters, and then there are people that don't eat when they're emotionally just overwhelmed. And so it's just kind of, I think, really like what you would do to your kids as a mother. You know, you're not going to send them to school without lunch or lunch money. You're going to make sure they have a lunch or lunch money and they're prepared. So you kind of have to do that to yourself. And I just appreciate you guys so much. So thank you for being here tonight. And thank you for giving an opportunity so other people can be inspired by you and know that just because you're a mom doesn't mean that you still can't look amazing and that you can't live the fit life, because I really believe it's even more important when you are a mom. So thanks, you guys, and take care.
Thank you.
All right, guys, my next guest is my client, Lulu. She is one of the hardest working clients that I have ever had the pleasure of working with. She makes zero excuses. She has 5 kids, and she's always willing to go that extra mile, even despite what we've gone through the past year. She's been on top of her workouts, making sure she's on the app, and I'm really proud of her. So with that being said, here is Lulu.
Hi, my name is Lulu, as Lisa just said, and I'm 46 years old. I actually have 4 kids and 2 dogs. And
sorry, I thought it was 5. 4 is a lot.
no, it's 4. It's fine. I grew up in San Diego, California, and I worked as a correctional officer for San Diego City Jail. And then after that, I joined the military, and then I got married and had 4 kids. I currently live with 4 teenagers, 13, 15, 17, and 19 years old. So it's a little hectic in the house, especially during the pandemic with everybody cooped up in here. Everybody wants to go everywhere and we can't. So, but I also have my husband that I live with too. And I like interior design. I like anything that has to do with psychology. And those are pretty much my hobbies and my interests. And that is a little bit about me so far. So are you going to ask me the other questions?
Oh,
or am I
no,
supposed-
then you just go ahead and go through.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No,
I
it's
can
okay. I didn't know what you're going to do.
Yeah, sorry. I should have told you that.
I was like, okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay. So what is the best part about being a mom? For me, well, I was fortunate enough to be able to homeschool my kids since they were little. So being able to do that allowed me to see them pretty much grow up before my eyes and spend all that time with them and great memories. And it was very good, very nice and pleasant, because I had them here with me all the time, you know. And am I supposed to be looking up here or at you? I can't hear you.
You're looking in the right place. You're doing good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're doing great. I know, no pressure, no pressure.
Well, I know, right? So doing that, I enjoyed it a lot. And some of the challenges that I have as a mom, I think, is beginning this journey for me, this fitness journey. I started to have to really start thinking about putting myself first. So after so many years of putting them first, and I still do, but everything was always about them first, their needs and what needed to be taken care of for them all the time, as far as school, food, everything else. I got lost in that. So I started having to make a change, and part of that change was having to take that mindset and switch it to where I can actually, I don't want to say be selfish, but in a way, I guess it depends on who you're talking to, you know, how they're going to take that. But in a way, you do have to be a little bit selfish in order to be able to put yourself first and not feel guilty about doing that, if that makes any sense, you know. And as far as my fitness journey, that was a crazy one for me, because after the military, I became a stay-at-home mom, and I started taking care of my kids and my husband. And then I learned how to make bread. I had to learn how to homeschool 4 kids. And in that process, I started eating the bread that I was making, and I gained a lot of weight. I love fresh baked bread. I mean, that's like the best thing ever. And I started losing myself. Really, I did, because I didn't know where I was going, who I was becoming, who I was, other than a mom and a wife. So my identity was getting blurred, and I didn't like that. I didn't like how I felt. I didn't like how I looked. I didn't like who I was becoming, like I said earlier. And I thought that maybe I wasn't accomplishing my goals that I set out when I was younger, which was getting my degree in psychology. So I told my husband, you know what? I'm going to go get my psychology degree, because I think that's what I have to do for myself, and that's going to make me happy. So I did. I enrolled in the university. I got my degree in psychology, and I was happy temporarily, but it wasn't something that fixed that void that I had, I guess, in a sense. So then I thought maybe it's interior design, because I also wanted to major into interior design. But I felt that wasn't what it was. It was something more, something different that was tugging at me, but it wasn't a degree anymore. It was something else, something deeper. And my husband and I started having misunderstandings, a lot of arguments. I was always mad at him. We were arguing a lot. And I always felt that it was his fault, that it was him with the issues, him with the problem. And I started to self-analyze myself. And I started realizing, you know what? It's me. I'm the one who's not happy. I'm the one who needs to make a change. So I started looking into workout programs, workout books. I bought some. We set up the gym down there. I started working out. I started doing the prison workouts that Lisa likes to call them. And I did it. I was in there. I was in it. And I was doing well. But then I hit a plateau. I didn't know where to go as far as the nutrition part of it. I also outgrew my weights, because I needed bigger weights. I needed something else. I outgrew the basement area. It just wasn't functional anymore. So then I was telling my husband, you know what? I can't do this on my own anymore. I need a professional. I need someone who knows what they're doing, who can guide me and teach me along the way. And that's when I started looking through, I think it was Thumbtack or something, and I found Lisa Ann. And that's how we met, and we got together and started on this journey. So that's been a life changer for me. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
That means so much to me. Thank you, Lulu.
Yes, of course. As far as my being fit, what does being fit mean to me? And what kind of example does it set for your kids? How do you share fitness with your kids? Okay. Fitness for me means being strong, looking strong, being healthy, having a good relationship with food. And if I live that and my kids see that in me and it radiates out of me, then that's going to make them want to imitate that and follow that. And they've already said it. They've noticed the change in me. And the other day, one of my kids actually said, Mom's been losing weight. I could see the muscles on her, so it works. And then they see everything that I'm eating, and they're sitting there, they're having the regular meal, and they're seeing me eat 2 plates of this, and I'm trying to get my protein in and all that. And they keep looking at my plates, and they're like, Mom, you're going to eat that too? And you're going to eat that too? Wow, I want to be on your plan. Because they see the benefits in it. They see the changes. They see how I'm eating healthy, I'm exercising. They're seeing all the positive changes in me. So that in itself is worth so much, because that lifestyle is now being imprinted in them, I feel. And my daughter started working out with me. I extended the invitation to her, and I let her know, you're welcome to come. Lisa Ann was generous enough to also offer that to her, and she does. She joins us once in a while, and she gets her workouts, and then she's sore the next day. But she's my biggest supporter in this right now. She's the one actually that makes me do my cardio, because the cardio and me, we have some issues. But other than that, I mean, that's what I feel that is something that I can gift to them. If they have anything to learn from me, is a healthy lifestyle and a healthy balance with food, and I tell them too, you can eat whatever you want as long as you eat it in moderation. You don't have to deprive yourself, and that's what I'm learning throughout this process as well. So that's very helpful. And it's not like back in the days when I was a kid and everything was off limits. I would see my mom dieting, and there was things she could eat and things she couldn't. And I don't think that's the mindset anymore. It's changed a lot. So that's a good thing.
It definitely has. Thank God. I'm appreciative of that.
Yes. So what are some tricks, must or must nots, to be successful in fitness, in your opinion? For me, it was, the nutrition part of it. It clicked in my head, the nutrition. I'm a tester. I'm the one that has to test things out and see for myself if it works, if it doesn't work, if somebody's telling me something that might not be true. It's just the way I function. So I put it to the test for almost 2 weeks. I was meeting my macros every day. I was meeting them. And I saw the change in the way I was being able to focus on my workouts. I was able to finish my workouts. I didn't feel tired. I wake up in the mornings energized, and it's been a game changer for me. And that's when I realized nutrition is a big part of this, and I need to make sure that I'm on it, because I wasn't before. I was lagging on it. I would eat. I would probably be missing maybe, I don't know, 300-400 calories maybe a day when I first started this, because either I didn't know how to do my macros yet all that well, or I would forget to cook something or take something out, because I was still adjusting and I was still used to my old patterns. So now that I've actually planned out my meals and I'm actually doing my meal preps and all those things, it's so helpful, and it's changed everything for me because of the nutrition part. And because of that, it also led to other parts where, what's the question? Because the consistency part of it, because in order to meal prep and exercise, because I do have the energy to exercise, I'm able to be more consistent with it too, so they're all interconnected. They really are. And the last question is, what is your definition of self-care, and how do you implement that? Self-care. There's so many. You've talked about it, about the mind-body connection all the time. You're very pro that. And I've known about it because I do know better. I just, again, that mom mindset, where everything needs to be taken care of first and I'm last. And I still struggle with that. So I do have to be better at maintaining that part in my life. And I feel that part of that self-care is getting the sleep, the adequate sleep that I need in order for me to be able to function and keep going. But I also notice that now that I've been eating better, and now that I'm stronger, I'm able to make that connection with the mind body part of it, because I feel tired. I feel like my body's asking for that sleep and that rest. So I used to be that I was up 1, 2, 3 in the morning. Now I feel that it's around 11 or 12. Not that it's any better, but it's a change. It's an adjustment, and it's benefiting me more in that sense. But it takes time, you know. It's a learning curve, and I'm learning a lot about myself and what I like, what I don't like, what I'm good at, what I'm not good at, my frustration levels, and how I'm able to just deal with it all and also keep going and not quit. But that's pretty much been my journey and how I'm going through with it.
I really appreciate that so much, Lulu. And I actually didn't even know you were a correctionals officer. That's so awesome. That's hard for me to believe because you're so sweet. I could like maybe you were telling them to do the then. The other thing too is I think you're very self-actualized. I think you're really aware of like your process, which is like when you can be, and you know this because you know psychology, once you can be aware of either your downfalls or your aptitudes, you're much more likely to address those and change them as needed. And I think that's exactly what you're doing. Like, and that is the most common thing I hear from people is that when they work out and they really dedicate themselves, they have much better sleep. Personally, I'm like an insomniac, and you know that I've shared that with you. I have a hard time going to sleep at night because I get like energy, but I've gotten really good at getting into a sleep routine, which doesn't mean that there aren't those nights. Like when I'm stressed out, that's usually when my mind will just start ticking all night. But I've learned how to self-soothe. And it's like, that doesn't mean that every night's going to be perfect, but it means that I have tools in my back pocket that I can use to implement that self-care. Because I'm the same way. If I don't get good, restful sleep, there's no way I'm going to be able to have an excellent day. And so I think just you being aware of that is so huge. And I applaud you for that. I wish I was able to like see my mom do workouts and stuff like we do, just because I think her generation, that like lifting weights wasn't the thing back then for women, you know, it made you bulky. So I think it's really huge. And I appreciate you really trusting me and taking that to the next step with your dedication, because I've noticed a huge shift in you. And I know that it's going to really pay off in the long run. And so I appreciate that. And thank you for sharing your story. I think it's going to inspire a lot of people, a lot of moms, because I think sometimes it can be overwhelming to put others first. And I don't only think that's a quality of moms. I think that's a quality that we're taught as women, to really please everyone else and assert ourselves last. And so to really learn how to do that is a beautiful thing, I think, you know. And I think it's not selfish. I think it's wise. Because it's like, how are you going to help save someone that's drowning if you're drowning too? You can't. You know, you can't. You have to put your gas mask on first, and then you can help them with their, or not gas mask, but oxygen mask. You know, that's the metaphor, is like the mask drop. You got to put yours on first, because you can't help the next person unless you have oxygen.
Right. No, you're right.
You know? Beautiful story though. And I appreciate you, Lulu. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your night.
You too.